In this video, I show you the high life
They upgraded my standard room to this 1-bedroom suite.
and low budget versions
And I'm paying $17 US a night for this place.
of my lifestyle as a digital nomad,
I don't find good, right? I sleep on park bench, bro.
and discuss some of the pluses
You see why I like this place.
and the problems
Where the am I? What am I doing with myself?
of deciding that no place is home.
We take hammock, bro, and machete, bro, and fishing hook. That's it. I'm no you. Chào mừng đến với Saigon, Vietnam. Welcome to Saigon, Vietnam. In this video, I want to discuss some of the pros and cons of living a digital nomad lifestyle. And this particular place and this particular day are good examples of the best and worst of times living this lifestyle of mine. While I discuss these things, I'm going to give you a tour of my room here at the Riverside Renaissance in Saigon. And this will be a good example of showing you how far your money can go overseas. I am a member of the Marriott Bonvoy system, and I got this room with points. So the room cost me no money. It was 17,000 points a night. And since I am a Titanium Elite Bonvoy member, they upgraded my standard room to this 1-bedroom suite, which is pretty sweet. It has a river view of the bridge over the Saigon River and all of the splendor that is the city of Saigon. It is pretty majestic, to say the least. And in the States, if we were dealing with the Marriott points, this might get you like Courtyard by Marriott, a very small room at the Courtyard by Marriott, if that. Those are usually like 30,000 points. So, stretching your dollar while living in other countries, that's a huge factor in living life as a digital nomad. And seeing places like Vietnam, and being in cities like this, that is a huge plus. But one of the cons, one of the pitfalls of living this lifestyle is sort of the psychological issues of being in foreign places all the time. In the last couple weeks, I think I've just been in way too many cities in way too short of a time. Medellin, Bogota, Houston, Seattle, Honolulu, Tokyo, and now Saigon. And after a good night's sleep last night, I think I started thinking about that today, and I was looking out the window at this view of the city, and I said audibly to myself, I'm like, holy shit, like my head is going to explode being here and looking at this view. And about 10 minutes after that, I was just chilling in bed trying to watch a movie, and my head started to explode. I got this overwhelming sense of anxiety of like, where the fuck am I? What am I doing with myself? Like I have no sense of grounding or being home. I kind of do here. Like I really know this city and this neighborhood and this hotel property. And thankfully, a friend of mine, another expat friend of mine, is in Saigon, and we went out for a beer, and that like calmed me down. But the psychological damage of and the culture shock. Here's my showing you the rest of the suite here. The psychological damage and culture shock, those things are real, and hasn't affected me too much. But today, it really freaked me out. It felt like the last time I felt that way, I had done way too much Molly, and it's like when LSD or mushrooms or edibles kick in and you're just like super anxious and paranoid. Yeah, that's how I felt just from traveling so much. And when that happened with the Molly, I was at another hotel here. I was so freaked out of my head that I had the concierge, I didn't want to be alone, so I had the concierge take me in a taxi to a bar down the street where I know the people at the bar. And I couldn't believe that I felt that anxious today just from being, feeling like out of place. So, yeah, so, it's a sort of double-edged sword, this lifestyle. I wouldn't trade it for anything else, but if you're thinking of doing it, or if you're already doing it and you're feeling the same way, I think that's kind of a normal reaction, just to like not having a home base for a long time. Xin chào. When you're an elite member in the Marriott Bonvoy system, here in Southeast Asia, they have what's called the club level. And let me see if anyone's in here. This is the Xin chào moi toi. I'm working on my Vietnamese. I'm showing off the club lounge here to my viewers. Did you see the video I did with Steven?
Oh.
No?
You already put it?
I put a YouTube video with Steven. Yeah, we filmed the scene right here. I'll show you. I'll get my phone later. I'll come back down and show you. Yeah. So what's great about being a member of the Bonvoy system is in here in Southeast Asia, they upgrade you to this club level. And so like all day there's, snacks and coffee. What do they have? Pastries. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Sandwiches. There's a breakfast buffet, dinner buffet, and alcohol. So you don't have to spend, I don't have to spend any money on food when I'm staying in these hotels. I eat very well. See you later. And yeah, that doesn't happen in the States. In the US, the Marriotts don't have these club lounge rooms with lavish food spreads. This view of the city is kind of unparalleled here. There's a Hilton across the street, which will, when it's finished, when the renovation is finished, the Hilton will rival this hotel for sure. This hotel needs kind of an upgrade, but right now this Renaissance Riverside is kind of like the primary place to be if you want to be in Saigon and have a view like this. I mean, this is kind of the only hotel with it. Some of you asked me about the video that I did on New Year's Eve in Vietnam of the fireworks display. And for those of you wondering, this is where the fireworks take place. So I've booked this room again for New Year's Eve, this New Year's Eve, to watch the fireworks from my hotel suite. So anyway, that is the rooftop pool here at the Renaissance Riverside. And this is not a 5-star hotel. This is the Cosrum Homes Ambira House, and I'm paying $17 US a night for this place. I'm really happy about that, and we can definitely put that in the plus column on our digital nomad lifestyle checklist. I did another video in a different Cosrum Homes building, and I called it $30 a night survival guide. So now I'm paying about half of that, which gives you an idea of the price range, the seasonal price range for a place like this. I'd call it like an Airbnb style place in Saigon. Right now it's, what is it? I forget where I am and when it is quite a bit. It's October, and the rates here in Southeast Asia are pretty favorable in October and November, the flights and hotels. And this idea is one that I think everyone can pull off money-wise, just about everybody, and that most people would be comfortable with. Even your bitchy girlfriend might put up with a place like this for a decent stretch of vacation time. But they all come, all these Cosrum Homes units come with this mini kitchen, which is a real plus for me because I like to cook my own food, not only for the craft of cooking, but also for my health. I just don't like other people preparing my food in general. Particularly here, Vietnam and Thailand, I took cooking class in both countries, and I realized how much effing sugar and sodium they put, particularly in the soups. Yeah, it's like you want to wear a hazmat suit to eat some of that stuff. So my version of Vietnamese and Thai food has become this routine of going to a local morning market, and I buy things like dragon fruit. They were like 30 cents a piece. Back in the States, it was $9 for that thing. And, you know, Thai and Vietnamese ingredients: garlic, shallots, ginger, turmeric, bird chilies, Thai ginger, lemongrass, scotch. Oh, wait, no. That's not, no, the scotch is not a Vietnamese thing. But it does bring up another point, another like pro and con. This is a strange one, you know, like the discount on travel, accommodation, and food, those three categories, you'll definitely get a lot of bang for your buck. But anything with a brand name and a bargain price, buyer beware. This Johnny Walker I bought at a Circle K, so I'm not worried. But last year, I bought, I forget what it was. I think it was Johnny Walker, Jim Beam. I bought a Jim Beam at a street vendor, and in China, they make fake brand name alcohol, and they put ethanol, I want to say. They put some other alcohol ingredient that really F's you up. So you got to beware of some of the, anything with a brand name on it. You really have to beware if it has a low price. There is a good version of that. Today I went to the Benton market. I did a video there a while back. And I didn't travel here with much. I brought a small suitcase, so I had to go and buy some things. I got this New Era Yankees cap for $4. This Patagucci crossbody bag, which I've never used one of these, but they're not only super convenient when you're walking around cities like this, but also part of the local culture for Vietnamese people and expats. So I look less like a tourist and not more like a local, obviously, but more like a long-term expat. The hat was $4. This was like 18 bucks. I got some athletic shorts for $8. And these Yeezys, which I bought before, about 5 months ago now. I put about 1,000 miles on the other pair before the soles started to crack. They're $32, which, yeah, I'm happy with, because if they were like the legitimate thing and they lasted longer, I just start to look like a homeless person, you know, because the shoes start to look a little gummed up. So I went to the Benton market. Also, the Rolex that I bought over there, I walked into the same shop just to say hi to the guy, and apparently my YouTube video has sent people to his shop to buy things. So I asked him if I could swap out the watch, and he took the band off of my blue Rolex and gave me the green one. So that was pretty cool. A lot of you have been asking about how I pull this whole thing off and what I do for work, because it's obviously not the windfall of YouTube ad revenue flooding my bank account every month. I have to work. Right now I'm working on this Microsoft job for a large production company that I freelance for. And typically with this company, I can just do the work on my own time. But this particular job that I'm doing this week, it's critical that I get it done quickly and also stay on their hours. So this is a real, probably the biggest drawback to this whole digital nomad thing, working in a different time zone. It's noon here now, so I love having a watch
while I travel as a digital nomad because I've got it set to 10:25 critically on the 18th. It is now noon. It's like 12:25 on the 19th. And particularly when you're in Southeast Asia and you're ahead, like way ahead of the work hours that the rest of your company or team or colleagues are on, it gets really difficult to keep track of that time if you have to work during those hours. With this company, I generally just have to maybe set an alarm and get up in the middle of the night to check emails and see if anyone's waiting for my response before the end of their workday, which would be like 8 a.m. for me here would be 6 p.m. in LA. So, and if I get up during the middle of their workday, like 3 a.m., I could manage that particular job with fair deal of ease. But sometimes I work in television as a reality TV editor. I did that last year, and I booked a job for a month. I was here in Saigon, and then I was going to Bangkok. And I thought I could probably handle 4 weeks of flipping my schedule. But you want to talk about the upsides and the downsides of this digital nomad lifestyle. What I'm talking about is the upside downside, meaning you have to flip your whole schedule upside down. I was getting up at 7 p.m., going to the dinner buffet for breakfast before 8, going to the gym, and then starting my workday at midnight and working until 10 a.m. And by week 4, I really started to crack a bit. And then they extended me by asking me to work like 2 days the following week and 3 days the week after that. Can you work Wednesday and Friday? Meaning I have to go, all right, what does that mean here? So it means that Wednesday at midnight, I start working. I finish Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Then I don't have to work again until Friday at midnight. Well, guess what happens when you're in Bangkok and you have to start work at midnight in Bangkok? And I was staying in the party district, Sukhumvit. Yeah, it's not easy when right out your door, there are like flashing signs offering girl bars and drugs and parties and clubs and, all sorts of really awesome bad ideas. But I tried, and I was doing my best, particularly to avoid friends that I might see in Bangkok. But my friend Umar, and this is if there's anyone, I wanted to avoid Umar until I was finished. Umar saw my YouTube channel that I had posted a video from Bangkok. He's like, bro, you're in Bangkok? Why didn't you tell me? We must party tonight. We must party. It's for sure. And I'm like, oh shit. I had 2 days left on the Netflix job, and Umar won that battle, and it kind of cost me. I had done 3 jobs for that particular production company in the past in total, and I think that's where the number's going to stay. I'm pretty sure they're never hiring me back to work on another show, and it may have even cost me work from other companies for like staining my name. So that's probably the biggest downside to living this lifestyle, is maybe I would call it like trying to get away with too much. I was trying to keep a very, very handsome weekly rate on a TV show that's, historically been done by driving an hour through LA traffic to sit in an editing suite for 10 hours. And just really working all 10 hours and then going home to sleep. But trying to do that from Saigon and Bangkok and enjoy my life as well and flip my schedule as well is just way too many, trying to get away with way too many things. So that caused me to kind of hit a wall a little bit, which is why I went to Colombia for a few months so that I could relieve some of my stress about the whole flip schedule thing. Here we go through the lobby of Ambira House. And inside the building, and even this facade of the place, everything is culturally very Western, very Airbnb. But as we walk down the alley and walk into the neighborhood, it's more like a camp, really, you'll see. It'll be a very steep slide into all of the wonder and chaos that is Vietnam. Yeah, this one, I've stayed at some of the other Cosram Homes units, and this one, Xin Chao, this one by far is the most Vietnamese of them all, which is, it's pretty great. I really love being here. This morning, I got up at 1 a.m. this morning because of my the work schedule that I had to flip. So I was out here like 3 o'clock. I walked down the same alley and people are already, like, the lights are going on, the restaurants are opening up because the Vietnamese people, and they work and they get up early and exercise and then go to work. So even at 3 a.m., I don't know about 3, maybe 4, at 4 a.m., this alley was definitely busier than it is now, because part of the cultural routine, I guess you would say, is the morning market is where you get your food. And not only because people are buying things from the morning market before work maybe, or buying produce so that they can then go and open their restaurant and use that produce, but there's almost like a competition to get there first and get there earliest. They all insist, oh no, 8 o'clock too late, 8 o'clock too late, food no good, 8 o'clock food no good, 4 a.m. good, 5 a.m. okay, 6 a.m. maybe. Yeah, look, there's like barely enough room for like 2 people walking side by side, but the motorbikes, motorbikes, they don't come ripping through here. It's all pretty safe. Like, here comes one now. Yeah, this is pretty unique. I've never even walked through a neighborhood in District 1 in Vietnam with so many people pressed so tightly together. But yeah, well, they're kind of ripping through here a little faster than they should be. But I've never even walked through an alley packed so tightly, never mind stayed in a neighborhood like this. So this has been a pretty special experience, staying at this Ambira house and in this neighborhood. And so I think the point I want to make with this video is that, well, you know, we've covered some of the upsides and downsides of this lifestyle, but also I've shown you my sort of lifestyle latitude with the suite at the 5-star hotel, and then this place in this neighborhood. And I can go a little lower in terms of comfort and cost. In Chiang Mai, I had a very simple room, no air conditioning, just a noisy wall fan, and no real kitchen, just a rice cooker and one of those water boilers. And the hello, Xin chào.
Welcome to Vietnam.
Welcome to Vietnam. How do you say in Vietnamese? Welcome to Vietnam.
Chào mừng đến Việt Nam.
Chào mừng đến Việt Nam.
Chào mừng bạn đến Việt Nam.
Tôi là Brando.
Brando.
Tôi nói tiếng Việt. Little. Yeah. It's cool. Okay, I come back. I'm staying in the neighborhood. Gặp lại sau.
See you.
Yeah, see you. You see why I like this place.
There's just like people around all the time. It's fucking awesome. So awesome. It feels like summer camp to be here. But I was saying I could go like a little further in terms of giving up creature comforts. In Chiang Mai, the room was really simple. It was really hot. Just had the fan. And basically cooking food in the bathroom. But I'm happy with that. And I meet a lot of digital nomad homies who have come to adjust and also have a pretty wide latitude in terms of what they are happy with accommodation-wise. My friend Musin, what's up, Mo? He's Moroccan, and I met him in Medellin. He's a fashionable dude, like kind of a cosmopolitan cat, but he spent 6 months doing this thing in the Amazon, and he says he kept trying to get me to go and stay in the Amazon with him. He goes, bro, we go Amazon. I tell you, bro, we take hammock, bro, and machete, bro, and fishing hook. That's it. I'm no bullshit you. Hammock, machete, fishing hook, bro. Oh, and chicken, bro. I said, chicken? Yeah, chicken, bro. Canned chicken, bro. In case we don't catch nothing, bro. But that's it. Hammock, machete, fishing hook, chicken, that's it, bro. He really kept trying to sell me on an idea. And I wanted to do it. The YouTube videos would have been fucking rad. But I almost stepped on a python in Thailand. And that freaked me the fuck out. So we're going to the Amazon where like the snakes are bigger. You have to sleep in those hammocks elevated off the ground because shit'll eat you. No. That's where I drew my line. See, so even I have a limit to my lifestyle latitude. This is as low as I'll go. And if things get like really fancy where it's cumbersome, that's a little, I can do that for a night or so. In the same couple months last year, I was in that room in Chiang Mai in a hostel. I had a private room. It was like a hostel. I didn't have my own bathroom. And at the St. Regis, where I had a presidential suite with my own private butler. But to me, the internet speeds in the Chiang Mai room and the hostel and the St. Regis, the internet speeds were about the same, and I had a desk and a chair to work at. So to me, it's the same. I'm in the same place. But a lot of people, like your girlfriend maybe, might freak out. Musin said, oh bro, I sleep, I don't find good rate. I sleep on park bench, bro. He did he slept on a park bench with his, but he had his machete. So, I'm not doing park bench and machete either. But to him, he's just, he's alive, he's eating. The St. Regis would be cool, and he'll be comfortable there. He won't be like a fish out of water. But he doesn't need it. But he said, bro, my girlfriend, bro, she can't do co-living space, bro. She can't do cheap place, bro. She got to have special pillow, bro. What the fuck is that? Who needs special pillow, bro? So everyone has their sort of like lifestyle latitude. But my guess is that if you're watching this from the States, on average, your lifestyle latitude window is going to be a fairly narrow and suburban one. And if you're watching this because you're like ready to try some digital nomad adventure, the idea that I showed you, that neighborhood and that apartment unit, that's kind of playable for everyone. That's not a bad place to start. And so I hope I've given you some functional ideas that might help you get out of your box and get into the world. That's going to do it for this video. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons and help the channel out. And maybe one day I won't have to work on someone else's clock. I'll see you in the next one.